I want to be 1000% transparent with you guys. I literally was one click away from giving up this passion of being a creative. I'm talking no more photo shoots, no more video shoots, no more music videos, no more social media content, no more music, no more nothing really, because I just lost the passion. I wanted to give it all away, be done with everything, say, you know what, I wipe my hands clean, here you guys go. But something told me not to. This is how I almost quit being a creative and why I did. Hey man, say man, this your guy No Way Jose. Typically I give y'all videos of like recaps, behind the scenes, things like that. Today I'm kind of gonna bring you into my personal life, and kind of be vulnerable and transparent in a way where y'all understand why I almost gave up this passion of being a creative. So honestly, when I first started videography or even being a creative, I solely did it because I just had really enjoyed it. I first picked up a camera back in 2010, 2011. I had to take a class for my senior year. And I was like, hey, look, I want to take a photography class. I fell in love with it. I first got a camera. I took that camera everywhere. Did not know what I was doing or anything. I learned how to do double exposure, and I just knew I was the shit. Fast forward, you know, people will always be like, hey, take this picture of me, take this flick, take this flick. Okay, cool, I would take it. Then I did a party. I did my dad's party back in 2023, I believe. And I didn't have a camera at the time, but my sister was like, hey, you want to take pictures? I was like, yeah, like I'll get a camera. She gave me a couple $100 to go toward the camera. So I just got a basic camera. And then with that, you know, it came with everything. It was just a regular Canon Rebel camera. So it came with 2 lenses, a little SD card, the basics, the necessities that you needed to take pictures. So I did my dad's party. Everybody loved the pictures. I loved it. I thought they were the shit at the time. Looking back at it, they were good. But what I know now, I wish I could have applied it. They would have been 10 times better. That's neither here nor there, though. Out of all of that, I had a conversation with a young lady who was telling me about a documentary that she wanted to shoot. So I'm listening. I'm like, oh, this is dope. I can't wait to see it, whatever the case may be. She was telling me she had a videographer. So I'm like, yeah, nah, I can't wait to see it. I think you should do X, Y, and Z. Being helpful. I'm a very helpful guy when it comes to certain things. If you know me, when it comes to music, when it comes to photography, even the young photographers around, like I give them pointers. If I see something that they might not know or they might not understand, I help them. That's just my thing. I like to help people, especially in a field that I'm passionate about. In photography and videography, I'm passionate about. So talking to this lady about the documentary, and it was cool. It was great conversation. We exchanged numbers, just because like she's like, yeah, like I could use you. We'll love to potentially work once again, networking. Couple weeks go by, she calls me, hey, want to have a conversation? Yeah, what's up? Hey, so X, Y, and Z happened. I want to know if you'll be willing to be the director, videographer for the documentary. At this point, I'm excited. I'm like, damn, because I just told myself a couple months ago, this year, I'm going to shoot a documentary. This is 2024, by the way. I was telling myself in January, I said, that was like on my New Year's resolution. This year, I will shoot a documentary. I personally was going to shoot a documentary about my own life. People tell me, bro, your life is so exciting. Like, you should definitely shoot a documentary about your life. So I was going to focus on that. It was a couple short films that I was going to, I was scripting to write. It was a lot of stuff that I had on my little black book. So the call came at a perfect time, because now as I'm working on setting up everything for my documentary, I get the call like, hey, can you help me? Okay, well, tell me more about it. Find out what it's about. I'm 1,000% behind it because now it's a little personal to me. I know people that dealt with the subject and the topic of the documentary, so it was a personal project at that point. I said, you know what? I'm going to put everything I got into this. I want this to be as great as possible. I want this to be wonderful. So around March time frame of 2024, we scheduled a meeting, a FaceTime, about 2 hours long. We sat, I had my iPad, we're on FaceTime. It's me, the two young ladies that the documentary was about, and their manager. So it's just four of us. We talking, we introducing ourselves, just having general conversation, just to kind of break the ice. Then we talk about the documentary because that's what we on the call for. Documentary, I say, hey, look, I've done a lot of research. Cause I'm a big documentary guy. I love watching documentaries, more crime documentaries than anything. But I love watching documentaries. And a documentary I had watched prior to that was the one pertaining to the Nickelodeon thing. So that documentary was very good. So that was the references that I was going off of because the topic was pretty much the same. I'm like, oh, we can have the interview, do B-roll, like it'll be amazing. So having a conversation with them, just trying to figure out like the small minor details. So we come up with a game plan. We're gonna do X, Y, A. We're gonna do A, B, and C, and then we're gonna do X, Y, and Z. So that's in March, like March 20th, between March 20th and the 27th. I want to say it was the 25th, if my mind serves me correct. However, 2 weeks later, on like April 10th, is when we shoot the first interview, the very first interview. We shot the very first interview. So literally, we pushing shit out. Let me rewind. So I'm like, all right, well, how soon y'all want to start, and when do y'all want to premiere it? Because they wanted to do a movie. They said September. I said, damn, it's March. And we got April, May, June, July, August, September. We're looking at 6 months. Now, if anyone knows anything about anything, 6 months is solely not enough to do a documentary, let alone a album, nothing. It's not really a lot of time. So I'm like, all right, it's crunch time. We need to be this. So I said, all right, this is what I need from y'all. You get the list of people that is going to be interviewed, and from that point we'll go from there. It was like 30 people that got interviewed, and that's probably a stretch, but it was a lot of people. You got to think about it. Everybody had about 10 questions that was asked of them, which isn't bad. However, it's like, in a way, every question has to be the same, because then if we want to, how in my mind, how I wanted to edit it, I shot it that same exact way. So at first it was a little rocky once we did the opening the very, very start. So we had to go back and readjust everything, which is fine because it wasn't really set in, it was written down, but it wasn't really set in stone. It wasn't like this is all that it's going to be. It was room for improvement. So we went back and we shot a couple interviews over again. So now, that being said, within the interview, once again, I'm fully in it. I get presented with the idea of, hey, we have a soundtrack for this documentary. Would love to shoot a video. In my mind, I'm like, let's make it happen. We can use it for the documentary. Like, it just makes sense because the artist is going to be a part of the documentary, that can be a leeway or entry into that particular interview. Okay, cool. Once again, I'm very big on planning. And when I plan something, I shoot how I plan. I don't like to go back and re-edit, or I'm not re-edit. I don't like to go back and add stuff, because once I sit at that computer, it's time for me to lock in. So we sat down. Mind you, we already had a 2-hour conversation about the documentary itself. We sat down for about an hour to discuss the music video and what was going to happen. Also, it was another opportunity to just kind of showcase the artist. They wanted me to shoot it. I shot it. Like, yeah, whatever. Like, once again, I took it as a network opportunity. And that came. Something happened with the audio to where the recorded audio just kind of got corrupted. So that did not come out as far as the full performance, because the keyboard was live. So I couldn't recreate that at all. I couldn't recreate it, and I was so upset. I was so mad. It was very, very devastating. However, you know, just keep the ball rolling, because we had good footage. The footage still was able to be used. Nothing came out of that opportunity. And then right after that, we did a video for the official song for the documentary. So we shot the video. Oh yeah, this is dope. This is fire. Can't wait to put it out. Okay, cool. My job here is complete. Like, y'all satisfied? I clearly did something right. Until they decided to add someone else on the song for the hook. So then, once again, that video that we used could not be used because that person is not on the hook. The whole month of June, I took off. I didn't want to work. I didn't want to do anything. I wanted to really enjoy my birthday. I was turning 31 at the time. I had plans to go to New York, things like that. So I didn't want to work. However, I was getting calls every day like, hey, how are you? Like, I know you're away, but, you know, when do you get back? I'm like, look, I don't get back until this particular day, which was the day I said that, you know, my vacation ended from work, which was after my birthday, because I took the week off for my birthday. So that was in the very beginning. At that point, I had to stop answering calls, because now you're only calling. I felt that you're only calling me to get an update so we can start shooting. So when it was time for me to get back, lock in for the project, it was, hey, like, want to do this. All right, well, I can't stop everything I'm doing. And it was a whole bunch of stuff leading up to the premiere that was good. It was good promo, good stuff like that. So it could have been used. However, I'm only one person. I can't be a million different places at once. My thing is, hey, look, I would love for all of this to be consistent, but at some point I had to just be like, you know what? I had to be realistic. So I tried to reach out to some of my videography friends, and, you know, they was willing to help. However, schedules didn't align. Once again, out of my control. So we went from, you know, camera footage to phone footage, which was fine. As long as you shoot in 4K at 60 frames per second, I can figure everything else out. So, you know, it was bits and pieces of that. Every time something was completed, it was on to the next one. So we had a couple more days of like real hardcore editing like that we needed to do. And with that, it just was very imperative that it gets done. That way we give ourselves as much time as possible to then edit and then review and then premiere, because they wanted to have a premiere. So after everything was done, the footage itself was about almost 4 hours, close to 4 hours. Once I compiled all the footage itself between all the interviews, it was like almost 4 hours. So I get on a call because now it's time to edit. I get on a call. Hey, look, this is how much we have. I think it's best if we drop these in part, like series, 3 parts, about an hour each part. That way you can either do it like a mini docu-series. Instead of calling it a movie, you can still premiere it. At least one part 1. And whatever does not make the 3 parts, I'll just put it in a 4th part and call it the director's cut. Because a lot of stuff wasn't going to make it, like the music videos or certain little behind the scenes things that I caught while the camera was rolling, that wasn't going to make the documentary. So here we are, we finished. It's a wrap, last day of shooting. Clap it up. Okay. A little tidbit, I would get a call just about every day, every other day, every couple days, like, hey, just checking on you. How are you? How you feeling? This is that and the third. Hey, so I have an idea for the documentary. I think this, or I want to do this, or what about this? You know what I'm saying? So every call to me felt like it was a fake check-in just to get something. You know, and that's a part of one of the reasons why I was about to give it all up. So this is really just like a backstory so y'all could just see the headspace that I'm in. This is where it starts to get like, you know what? I'm ready for all of this to be over. I don't want, once this is over, like, I'm cool off of documentaries for a while, especially doing everything by myself. So it's time to edit. Miraculously, some random person that, mind you, remember in the very beginning, it was a meeting with 4 people. Me, the 2 ladies that the documentary was about, and their manager. The first week, the manager disappeared because they had personal business to tend to. Stuff in their personal life that they had to just take care of. That left 3 of us. One lady I didn't really talk to until like the last leg of the documentary. So the person that I was really dealing with for the shooting aspect of the documentary was only one lady. So that was literally the one that was just calling, checking in and stuff like that. Boom. I get a call from, I do interviews. The last leg of the interviews. A couple other people that was around, and this one guy who was a part of their team, I'm gonna say. That's how it was presented to me. A part of their team somehow gets inside. He weasels his way into trying to become a part of the team of myself. Stating like, hey, I do this. I've been editing this and that and the third. Whatever. I'm like, oh, all right. And so he's trying to pick my brain. So I'm like, all right, like, I'm not understanding where this is coming from. Like, where were you 5 months ago, 4 months ago, when everything was starting? Because had you would have been here, like, the stuff that you're wanting to add now could have easily been done. But that's neither here nor there. So something happened to where, like I said, he weaseled his way in, like, oh yeah, I'm a designer, I'll edit, and I can do this, and this is that. What system do you use? I just want to be a part of the team. I just want this to be great. Whatever. I gave the files. I gave the files, and this was another reason why I felt, like, underappreciated, because, mind you, this dude weaseled his way in. He weaseled his way in, or whatever the case may be, and he literally said, well, you didn't do your job. When I say I wanted to knock all his shit over, bro, I was ready to put hand and feet on this motherfucker, bro. But I kept it cool. I kept it professional. I said, hey, look, well, you got all the footage now? 'Cause I was at his crib for like an hour and a half. An hour and a half, because it was a lot of files, bro. It was like almost 100 gigs. Like, it was a lot of files. Probably like 50 gigs. I'm drawing. Like, it was 50 gigs. So it took a while because he ain't had a space. Shit like that. 2 weeks go by. Nothing was done to the project. Nothing. I get a phone call like, hey, I want to talk to you. I understand you was gone. And this person said he was gonna edit. However, I need you. I'm asking you. I need you to edit this. So I'm like, all right, yeah, that's cool. Like, I edit. Just come over Friday night. So we sat at my crib for damn near 8 hours, from like 2 to like 10. 2 in the afternoon to like 10. And we edited this project. Or it might have been a Saturday. Either or, we edited this project. I'm talking about, when I say I did everything, cut it, sound. The only thing the young lady was telling me to do was like, I want this here, I want this here. So I'm just moving everything. Mind you, everything was already, my timeline was already set. So for me to just do everything, I just had to move everything. Everything was already done. And of course, the last thing that needed to be corrected was just changing a couple different colors, making stuff brighter, highlights, lowlights, things like that. That was his suggestion, but once again, it wasn't done at that point. The timeline was, I didn't go back in color. We shot 2 music videos for the same song. We sat down once again, to rewind, we sat down once again to really have a music video planned out with the new vocals on there. We sat down, we all agreed to how it was gonna go. I said, I think it should be a cookout vibe. So boom, we go shoot the video exactly how we planned it. I do the edits exactly how we planned it. Everything was good until it wasn't. Oh, I want to do this. So remember the video I said that we shot, the first video without the new artist on there? They wanted to use both videos. I personally didn't want to use it. I didn't think it looked right. It didn't make any sense. It didn't make sense. How are we going to bridge the two? It made 0 sense. Okay, cool, whatever. So I get a list of all these changes that would have liked to be made. I said, all right, cool. Let's put a pin in this, finish out the documentary, and it will come back to this video. Because once again, it was supposed to be used for the documentary. Nothing came out of it. So, boom, let's catch her back up. We get it. The premiere is happening, or the premiere is about to happen. Like, we get to the point where everything is done, everything is approved. The premiere happened, and it was a great premiere. Not because I shot it, not for nothing, because I shot it, but the video was actually good. I did not like the fact that it was on a projector, because I got an HD TV and I shot this in 4K. So on my TV, this shit was immaculate. However, on a projector, it don't hit the same, and it was just like a regular projector like they had in school. So it's good. Of course, a couple critiques here and there. People just, oh well, the color is off. I didn't color it for a projector. I colored it for a TV. Anyway, neither here nor there. I hear that the guy that weaseled his way in cries during the premiere, and then the people at his table telling people at his table like, oh yeah, I did this, I did this, and I did this, and I'm the reason why this looks like this. I'm like, huh? So I'm like, oh, all right, cool. But before that, while we was at my house editing, I forgot this part. While we was at my house editing, Mans was just talking, and he was talking and drinking. He drank all my liquor, which I need my bottle of liquor. So he owed me a bottle. So he drinking, but he talking shit. I had to cuss him out like, bro, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, once again, willing to put hands and feet on this guy, like wanting to put hands and feet on this guy, like in the worst way. That's neither here nor there. It's over. Everybody clap, this, that, and the third, whatever. Then, you know, everybody's getting thanks. Thanks this person and this person. Thank you for coming. Thank this. Not once did I hear my name. Which, didn't do it for the recognition, but damn, like I did the hard part. I shot it, edited, sound. Honestly, truth be told, I spent more money than I made on certain equipment, like microphones and lights and stuff like that, like transportation. Because at that time, my car was fucked up. So I'm Ubering. Like, Uber alone was probably like quadruple what I got paid. Because I had to Uber to every location, damn near, when I didn't get a ride from one of them. But neither here nor there, I'm like, all right, damn, like, wasn't no nothing. Like, the one lady has two artists, they perform. I left before the performances. I just didn't want to be in that space no more, because even my friend at the time looked at me and was like, yo, like, she kind of peeped it, and I'm like, yeah, like, I'm ready to go, because I'm like, yeah, I'm just ready to go. They had another crew, another production company who kind of covered the event, which nothing came out of that, because they did interviews and nothing came out of that. Not that I know of, not a recap video or anything that I've seen. But so they did interview, like, I want you to go do an interview. I did an interview. They was just asking general questions. Well, how did you feel about the premiere? How did you feel like watching it? So I did my little interview one, so that was shown. Well, mind you, I was getting hit up just about every day for a check-in. Here we are, the premiere is over. I heard back the next day, of course, for like payment. Got payment the same day, I think, or the next day, one of them. Probably the next day or whatever the case may be. I don't really quite remember. But then it was just like, yo, how did you feel about it? It was a conversation right after within that same weekend. A week go by, nothing. So now we like about the second or third weekend, get a phone call. Hey, want to talk to you about the documentary. Yeah, what's up with it? Well, yeah, we're trying to premiere in movie theaters across, a couple different states. Is there a way that you can re-edit it and make it into 2 different parts, or put everything into one and just condense it into this long? I'm like, huh? Like, first and foremost, I suggested that it be put into parts. I feel like it would get more viewers. It would get more traction, because no one wants to sit and watch a movie for 3 hours, even though it's been done. Excuse me, even though it's been done, but these are like your own circle, so they'll watch it just for the sake of you. It's you. However, a stranger, because they're trying to put it on streaming platforms, Tubi, Amazon, stuff like that. Nobody's going to want to scroll through it and see it and be like, oh, this is 3 hours long. I'm not going to watch it, because nobody really has the attention span to sit and watch a 3-hour movie. But if you do a docu-series, somebody might watch it, because now you can put those 3 hours into, 4 or 5 different episodes at 30, 45 minutes, or, like 25, 30 minutes a piece, however you want to break it down, because it was almost 4 hours worth of work. So I'm like, yeah, everything you're asking I can do. However, like, I'm gonna have to charge you, because now the project is done. This is a whole nother project. You want me to go back in and edit, like re-edit. I can't, like, I'm gonna have to charge you, like, cause now I can't do it for free. Oh yeah, like, yeah, how much? So I told him once again, off the love. I gotta stop doing shit off the love, off the strength. Once again, told him the love price. Yeah, like, I'll do it for this, cause truth be told, it wasn't gonna take me long to do it, because in my mind, something told me to already edit exactly how I had planned. So I already had the edit where it was already broken down into parts. It was all on one timeline. I just had to go copy, cut, save, go back, paste, copy the last two, or copy the first and the last, delete those, render that, and then so on and so forth, with erase the first two, and then it would have been a 3-part joint. I put a lot of stuff on the back burner to take care of this documentary, that when it was finally time for the documentary to be over, I was so drained that I didn't even really feel like doing my own personal projects, which is kind of crazy, because I was very, very much passionate about the projects that I wanted to do. So I'm slowly here and there just doing social media content to get eyes on me. That way, when it was time for me to drop the said content, it was easier for me to drop it and already have eyes on it, and then just build traction from there. So it started off as just videos here, videos there. But then I'm thinking about it like, all right, cool, like, damn, like, you only called to, like, check up. It felt like you only called to check up when you needed something pertaining to the documentary. So it just felt like I'm not in my feelings, but I'm in my thoughts. And these thoughts, like, it made me look at shit differently. Like, damn, bro, like, was I a sucker for real? Like, did I really just let you get one off on me? And that's just how I felt. I just felt like, once again, I felt slighted, because then I'm like, yeah, just let me know when you're ready. Let me know when you're ready. Let me know when you're ready. I get a phone call like, hey, the files, can you send the files to this production company? I'm gonna have them edit it. Once again, a smack in the face, because now you having someone then go edit on top of what is already done. Did not like that. So that really took me over edge. Like, damn, bro, like, now you really don't appreciate me, because we just had a conversation. I'm telling you, let me know when you're ready, and then you go give it to someone completely different that, once again, had nothing to do with anything pertaining to this. The check-in stopped, but you called me to ask me something, or for something pertaining to benefit you. It's not benefiting me. Then I get a call to say, hey, I no longer need you, which is fine. Like, let somebody else do it. Now I can more focus on what I have going on. So this person had 7 months to edit, when I only had 6 months to shoot everything, edit everything, and submit everything. And take away the month that I was gone, that leaves 5 months. And then take away the month from the final edit to review, that left 4 months. 4 months to shoot and edit. So I really just, once again, felt like I got slapped in the face. And in the conversation, literally from the time when I said, hey, look, I sent out this, it was a thank you, appreciate you so much, we need to hang out. Have not heard from the young lady since. Wasn't until I reached out to the one that is my friend, I consider her a friend, the one that is my friend, like, hey, did y'all ever get the documentary back? Like, what's the word on the documentary? Because I would like to see it. Because, once again, everybody knows I shot a documentary, but it's nowhere out. And I don't want to be an asshole and send them the documentary, because, I mean, I could do it, but I think that's fucked up. I like to do shit the right way. So now everybody asking me, well, yeah, remember that? What happened to that documentary you shot? What happened to that documentary you shot? So I reached out to my friend like, hey, what's the word on the documentary? She says, I know nothing about it. Text the other lady. Hey, what's up with the documentary? Oh, they had personal things come up. They should be finishing it here soon, and they should be sending it to me and the other lady for review. Once I get that, I'll show it to you, whatever the case may be. I'm like, all right, cool. Then that's when, oh, how you been? How you? Once again, I felt like it was a fake check-in because you didn't really care the last couple months. And within these couple months, now I'm heavy in my thoughts. I feel a type of way about how the documentary went. Everything. Like, I felt like low-key I was used because I felt like I was overly taken advantage of because I was so nice about the situation and I was really calm. I was really chill. So a factor of all of that, like, I kind of was just like, you know what? I was still pushing out content, but it was like more or less to like get me back in the feeling of doing content. Like, I went on a hike. I vlogged a hike. I had a couple other different things. Like this whole year, I barely did any jobs. When last year I was doing jobs like clockwork. But yeah, I just really felt all of those emotions and feelings and thoughts hit me all at once. I got in a really dark place because I had to make sacrifices. So yeah, after that documentary, like, I still tried to push forward and do certain things. However, I think I was just kind of done with it because it drained me so much. It took so much out of me. It took me from a place of passion to a place of pressure. I felt pressured to do stuff. I felt like I pressured myself to just press the button and record. So where I was like, you know what? Like, I don't want to do this anymore. I went on Facebook Marketplace. I had a picture of all my stuff. Went on Facebook Marketplace like, hey, like, all I had to do was press submit and it would have been a post of camera gear for sale. It would have been a post of MPB, where it's a camera website where you can sell certain things or sell, trade, buy. I was gonna sell it. I was kind of over it. The documentary put me, I'm not gonna say it put me in a dark space, but just having time to really sit and think about how everything played out in the little small factors of, we shot this but it wasn't used, or we shot this and now it wasn't good enough, especially after we sat and we had the conversation of how it was going to go. We shot this and this happened. We shot this and this happened. Or I want to do this. I want to add this. This should be this. This should be like this. And then the people that, once again, wasn't there from the very beginning coming in and now, like, they hold a spot. So it was just all of that. And then just how people move. I don't understand how certain people move the way they do. But you see true colors. Like, when somebody needs you, they can definitely disguise themselves to look good. But once they get whatever they need out of you, then that's when the color changes. And that's what I felt. If that is true, then it's just true. But if it's not, it's not true. But that's just literally how I felt at that time, and it wasn't cool. So all those things just made me like, I don't want to do this no more. I don't ever want to encounter a situation where I ever feel like this again. So how do you fix a problem? Like, how do you solve a problem? You get rid of the problem. And I felt like the camera was the problem, and I was going to get rid of the problem. But yeah, that's pretty much how I almost quit being a creative from that experience with shooting a documentary to feeling like I was underappreciated, overused, used in general, overworked, underpaid, slighted, slapped in the face. Like, all those different type of emotions is what I felt, and that was just pretty much why I stopped. But I say all that to say, like, what made me continue was I gained my passion again. I had a very deep conversation with my family, because at that time, I'm not gonna lie, just like I wanted to click that one button to end all of this creativity, I had the thought of like just ending it all. life-wise too, because I just didn't like the space that it put me in. Those thoughts and those feelings put me in a very, very dark space. But I didn't. Had a conversation with my family. I told them, because I didn't really tell nobody aside from my therapist and that particular friend. Just because like our friendship became stronger. So from that point, it made me want to get back into creating, because clearly, I mean, we went on this dope ass family trip to the Poconos, and of course, I take my camera everywhere, even if I don't use it. But I'm like, I'm going to get out, like, and just vlog. I didn't necessarily vlog, but I did just capture everything, and then I made videos about it, and that really gained my passion back, because I had a conversation with them. They made me feel loved, and once again, I felt appreciated because they listened, and that's all. I think that's all people want, is for you to listen.